Good evening. It's Tuesday, January 4th, and we want to get you caught up to date on the biggest stories of the day so far.
And we begin this evening with new information in a 1995 cold case involving the rape and murder of a 14-year-old girl. Our Adam Murphy has the latest.
Well, this has been going on for a really long time, and we're going to get into some of the specifics as to why there's not the closure that she had hoped for. But this crime happened, we did the math, roughly 10,000 days ago, right back here in 1995 in this wooded area just off Campbellton Road.
But I tell you, I'm in so much pain. And it's not a pill could take that pain away.
For the first time in 26 years, Aquanella Smith knows who killed her daughter.
Just taking one day at a time. Those are my plans.
This mother's nightmare began back in 1995. Her daughter, 14-year-old Nicole Smith, was walking to school in southwest Atlanta, but turned back around after forgetting an assignment at home. That's when she cut through a wooded area, and police say she was brutally attacked, raped, and murdered near where she lived.
Started to look into the possibility of trying to identify the suspect utilizing genealogy and ancestry databases.
Police confirm they have identified the man they believe is responsible for the crime. He is Kelvin Arnold, seen in this sketch. Authorities said he passed away in August of last year from liver and kidney failure.
The Atlanta Police Department pulled out all stops. They interviewed hundreds of people. They brought 2 recruit classes out to canvass the neighborhood. And they ended up taking blood samples from at least 50 people.
APD said they got a forensic match on Arnold in 2004 after a 13-year-old girl was raped in East Point. The victim, Betty Brown, spoke out for the first time Tuesday.
I want his family to suffer because he's not here to suffer. I want them to feel the pain that my family has felt for years.
Police said they were able to use genetic genealogy and match a DNA sample to the suspect. They were notified of the match just after Christmas.
I would never say it was closure for me because I'll live with this pain for the rest of my life.
Now, the DA's office said there are more Nicole Smiths and Betty Browns that are out there due to a significant backlog of sexual assault cases. In fact, there are over 2,400 sexual assault kits for Fulton County alone that need to be tested. There is more work to do here in the metro Atlanta area to solve very similar cases. This one, though, is progress. Live tonight in southwest Atlanta, Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Adam. CBS 46, your vaccine team, day after day, Metro Atlanta testing facilities swamped with people. Chopper 46 flying over this site in Kennesaw this afternoon, and dozens of cars lined up in that parking lot, almost spilling out into the street. Today, the state of Georgia reporting its daily COVID-19 case report following yesterday's delay. The Department of Health reporting 55,000 new cases, but that's from the 1st through today. Infections actually across the country, shattering records. The nation reporting more than 1 million cases Monday, but that includes totals from over the weekend. But the 7-day average of new cases is now close to 500,000 per day.
Well, President Biden announcing the new steps his administration is taking to combat COVID-19. CBS News' Wendy Gillette has the latest from New York.
Folks.
President Biden announced the government is doubling its purchase of Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pill as the Omicron variant drives an unprecedented surge in cases.
These pills are going to dramatically decrease hospitalizations and deaths from COVID-19. They're a game changer.
In Connecticut, the National Guard helped local officials with shipments of home testing kits amid continued high demand for PCR and rapid tests around the country. Maryland's governor declared a 30-day state of emergency.
The next 4 to 6 weeks will be the most challenging time of the entire pandemic.
President Biden says the government is adding more testing sites around the country. And starting next week, insurance carriers will begin reimbursing for at-home tests. The CDC is now recommending booster shots of the Pfizer vaccine 5 months after the second dose instead of 6 months. And immunocompromised children as young as 5 can receive the additional shot. Rising cases are a challenge for schools, and some in Texas are considering outdoor lunch.
I know the district's taking a look at that practice to see what can be done.
The Los Angeles School District is requiring all students and staff to show proof of a negative test before returning to class next week.
So many people we know have gotten it recently.
With pediatric hospitalizations in the U.S. at an all-time high, other cities are switching to remote learning that could last several weeks. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
CDC advisors are meeting tomorrow to consider recommending booster shots for children ages 12 to 15.
2 new antiviral pills made by Pfizer and Merck and used to fight COVID are hard to find in Metro Atlanta. About 50 pharmacies across the state will receive the first shipments of the 2 pills. According to the health department's website, 7 Metro Atlanta Walgreens locations have the pill. They are in DeKalb, Cobb, Coweta, Douglas, Clayton, Hall, and Henry counties. The pills must be prescribed by a doctor.
Estimating the Omicron variant is responsible for 95% of current cases. Today, President Biden issued another push to get Americans vaccinated.
Let me be absolutely clear. We have in hand all the vaccines we need to get every American fully vaccinated, including the booster shot. So there's no excuse.
President Biden also says his administration is doubling its order of Pfizer antiviral COVID pills.
Breaking at 6, a man trapped under a MARTA train. Atlanta Fire Rescue confirming for us tonight the victim has been rescued. This is a live look at the Vine City Station. MARTA police say the man suffered a leg injury. He is expected to survive. Investigators are still looking into why he was on the tracks. Developing tonight, empty shelves plaguing stores all across the metro. Families stocking up as COVID cases rise. The ongoing supply chain backlog making matters worse. And tonight we are learning that you could soon be paying more to fill your pantry.
If you haven't already, prices expected to increase even more this year thanks to increased costs for supermarkets. CBS 46's Jamie Kennedy live tonight, and Jamie, many shoppers are leaving stores empty-handed tonight.
Yeah, exactly, Sean. Coming out with bags looking a little bit like this, looking a little flat, and it doesn't matter where you go. Whole Foods, Kroger, Publix, Trader Joe's, all with empty shelves in them. And it's not just people shopping at grocery stores, businesses also feeling the pinch. It's a sight that greets many going for their weekly grocery shop, empty store shelves.
It's just random things I wouldn't think of. Today there was no potatoes. Not a lot of meat. So.
With the holidays over, many told me they thought things might look a little better, but still empty shelves persist. I checked out Publix, which was nearly depleted of toilet paper and salad mixes, while over at Kroger, certain vegetables and kids' juice were mainly out of stock.
There was a few produce items I couldn't find, which is annoying.
And the news gets worse. Research firm IRI predicts a 5% rise in food costs thanks to higher labour, packaging, shipping and logistics costs.
That's my last box of Moho right there.
Businesses struggling to even find the most basic of items.
Yeah, cups and lids right now, they're scarce too. I mean, you can walk through the warehouse where I go and the whole aisle for your paper cups and lids and stuff like that is pretty much empty.
Supply issues have been plaguing the country for over a year. Pop-up ports are being utilised in Georgia to help the Port of Savannah catch up, with success according to officials. Many industries are also dealing with worker shortages, such as trucking companies which supply grocery stores thanks to the new Omicron surge. The issues meaning businesses are having to plan ahead.
A lot of people are doing that. You know, they're hoarding stuff. They're trying to stock up to make sure that they don't run out of things. You know, the big joke here has always been the lids. You know, I'm starting to tell people they have to give me a $10 deposit on a lid.
Now, one source tells us that a major grocery chain here is actually hiring day labourers to try and help stock the shelves because they have the stock, they just can't get them on the shelves. Well, I spoke to an employee at Trader Joe's who tells me that they get 2 trucks a morning, they put everything out there on the shelves, they don't have anything in stock, and so when people buy it all, that's all they have for the day, and that's why you're seeing empty shelves at their particular grocery store. So problems abound, and they don't seem to be going anywhere in the short-term future. Live in Atlanta, Jamie Kennedy, CBS 46 News.
We are stuck. The train is broke. They done crashed into trees.
Wow, a nightmare train ride. A lot of it caught on camera too. Amtrak passengers trapped on the tracks for almost 40 hours. and some of the passengers from our area. Amtrak says the train had to be stopped in Virginia because of bad weather.
And we've just learned passengers are finally on the move again. CBS 46's Yasmina Alston live tonight. And Yasmina, you spoke to some of those passengers on board. They're glad this is over.
That's right, Sean. This has been an absolute nightmare for those passengers who are so happy to finally be on the move again after day 2 of being stuck on the tracks.
We just want to get to Charlottesville.
Sean Thornton and his daughter Isabella boarded the Amtrak train late Sunday night. Their trip from Atlanta up north was supposed to be quick and simple.
And the next day we were traveling through beautiful snowy countryside, and the train just started stopping.
Almost 40 hours later, they were still on the train, stuck in Virginia at the Lynchburg station, which was closed.
We're still on the train.
We've been trapped in a train for about 35 hours in a trip that was supposed to take about 10 hours.
Thornton documented their time with these videos, showing Isabella passing time in the train as they waited to hear something, anything from Amtrak, though they did get the occasional message about snow and branches on the tracks. After several hours, Thornton says food was running low and toilets were backed up.
What is the plan? You leave the people on a train just to sit here?
We hope that we'll get off today.
Yeah, well, I've promised my daughter that I'll get her off this train somehow today.
Thornton says he wishes Amtrak would communicate with passengers, let them know what's going on, and have a plan in place for unexpected conditions.
There you go, folks. Look how beautiful that is. Wow, look.
An Amtrak spokesperson confirmed that the train, which departed New Orleans on January 2nd, was stopped north of Lynchburg because of weather. But this father and daughter duo quickly got over those beautiful snowy views.
We're tired of them.
And again, passengers say the train is moving again. The next stop, Washington, D.C., and then the final destination, New York. Live in Atlanta, Yasmina Alston, CBS 46 News.
Yasmina, thank you. We do have new details tonight. A Metro Atlanta mayor who is facing federal fraud charges now stepping down. Stonecrest Mayor Jason Laurie announced his resignation during the State of the City address today. Prosecutors say he stole more than $650,000 in COVID relief funds to pay his own taxes and mortgage.
It's time for me to retire from politics, really get focused on my health. And also as of tomorrow,
Stonecrest Mayor pled not guilty in November. However, a change of plea hearing is reportedly set for tomorrow.
A severe case of road rage leads to a shooting in northeast Atlanta. Police say a man was sitting at a traffic light at Piedmont Road and Piedmont Circle this morning. We're told another driver got angry, drove up beside him, and shot him. The victim was able to call 911 and is expected to survive. The shooter has not been caught.
A Henry County family narrowly avoids tragedy. A 12-year-old and his family spared after a tree crushed their home. Take a look at this huge oak tree. It fell early Monday morning as strong winds swirled across the metro. Tracy Evans says part of the tree came down on her grandson's room.
So it took out half the house. The holes you can see here are where the limbs came through. This is my grandson's room. This is where another limb came through at, and it actually was sticking in his mattress.
Thankfully, the boy was sleeping on the other side of the home. The Evans say they tried to get the tree taken down, but it was $3,000, and they don't have the money to do it.
Wow. Developing in DeKalb County, a water main break leads to a sinkhole that swallowed up an entire dump truck. This happened at the Twin Keys apartment homes. The truck was removed with a crane. Some residents are without running water while repairs are being made.
Thanks for watching CBS 46 News. Watch us live wherever you are, our mobile and our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.